Wszystko w porządku. Everything is in order. That's Polish. My dad says it's Cisco Pazunka, and he argues with me because, well, it's fun to make fun of the Cisco trucks going by. Cisco Pazunka. Everything is in order, Cisco. But he will not believe me when I tell him that having been to Poland and Warsaw and other smaller units of the country over into the Ukraine and back at gunpoint at least once, when they dragged us off the train and put us in the back of a truck. Under a full moon. I learned it was Siskov Pazunka. And when I told him that, because I got sick of hearing the joke about the Cisco trucks all the time, I said, it's Siskov. And he will not admit it, because they laughed at me for saying it wrong in Warsaw. Army piss missions. These would usually occur after large amounts of alcohol had been consumed, necessitating that at least one, usually several, had to take a piss. Once a certain degree of drunkenness has been reached, thoughts become crystal clear and lightning quick. So quickly do they come, in fact, that if not acted upon immediately, they dissipate without so much as a roll of thunder or a roll of the dice. And so you're obligated to take the gamble and wage upon the notion that your instincts are correct. As often is the case, we generally found out the next day that they weren't. But there's no sense dwelling on the past when there will be more beer in the future. We get paid today. Of all the stupid things we were prone to do while drunk, the piss mission seemed to have been the safest. I know I never got caught. Seems that the piss mission was brought to our unit by way of specialist B-boat. They started out rather benign. He would stand up, wobble somewhat like a weeble, only occasionally falling down, separating himself from the miserable, marketable weebles. God. Just lost it all, man. And then he'd yell out, "Piss mission!" Realized that we were all drinking, and so the gift to urinate on command and for extended periods of time and distance, being 82nd Airborne Division paratroopers, said by Time magazine, occasionally, eventually, evidently, they were doing a story about the United States elite forces, and the 82nd was in there. We're right at the bottom of the rung, man. That's where you get in. No, college money. And they were doing that study, that article about it, and what they evidently had to say about the 82nd was that we were the most physically fit groups of alcoholics in the world. And I'm in the right place. We can all run when we need to and fight when we have to, fight when we want to, and run when it's time to get the hell out of there. But they said that about us. And so we could run across post and piss through a third-story window if that's what we chose to do. Hell, we actually had the capabilities to be anywhere in the world, parachuting through the dead of night, on the ground, and pissing in someone's mouth within 18 hours, as long as we had clearance from the division commander. Ha! There it is. I decided to open this book back up again. The one with my police report from another contest playlist, and the one Find My Shot contest. This is where I found the police report in there and did the thing on it. But I decided to look in there, and what I'm realizing, wow, is that this is from about 1999, when I was really early on in my radio show, and I wrote this thing so I could talk about it. I was always embarrassed because it sounded like I was reading, and it does. But you know, they have what they call storytelling competitions and things where people just act like they're reading a book and they tell a story. Ooh, and the big fluffy bunny sat down and nibbled her toe. Ha 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 ha. Oh, isn't that cute? Ooh. How about read some Edgar Allan Poe in there? Scare the fuck out of the kids. The tolling of the bells, you know. The now, the bells, 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 bells. Scare the shit out of them with that. Dressed up nice because you just got out of court. You always got to dress up for court, and sometimes before a competition you don't have time to change, so it looks like you're really taking it seriously, those poor kids. But yeah, it's turns out that's all it is now. But on the radio you couldn't see me. It's obvious that I was just reading. It was one of the things I did for my radio show. Decided to read it again. I don't know if it ever made the air, probably not a reason to, but there is a reason. They're on 90.5 FM KSJS, Judas, at the dawn of betrayal, Tuesdays 6 to 10 a.m., and then later on Mondays, but Mondays were never as good. There is a reason that I was supposed to read that. It's because that's Bebout, and I've been in contact with Bebout since he got out before I did. So since I got out, I would just be cruising through there somehow or another, some way, some reason, sometime, and I would show up at his house. From the first time I ever went to his house, we must have gone there once when I was in for a 4-day weekend. Ever since the first time I've been to his house, for some reason I can find it. And it's out, his mother and father's house. It's out in the middle of nowhere, just like it would be in Ohio, you know, down near the West Virginia border. And they're at the foothills of the Smokies, where you can make your own whiskey and cure your own ham. And I've shown up there on a motorcycle at twilight, across from a friend of his house that I'd been at 20 years ago. Last time I saw Bebout, it was that. And I pulled up and they're on the phone trying to give me directions, and I hear them in the background going, how many Michiganders does it take to change a light bulb? And I kick myself in the ass. Oh my uterus just fell out because I didn't yell across the road as the pit bull was charging and attacking me. I didn't yell, "It depends on if it's a tail light." That's what they called me in the Army, Bebout and Sherman. They called me tail light. They said I was always turning on and off. And so I showed up that way. The one time I showed up, I gotta go. I'm concentrating. I'm doing a show here. I know. Yeah, I'll let you have the body back soon. You know what? You gotta let me out. How many times the guy is constantly calling and interrupting what you're doing? There was one time I showed up in the middle of the night. I was just, I said, well, nobody's going to be up. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. And there in the morning, I'm getting woke up. They fucking made a mess out of that word awoke. Getting woke up as the sun's coming up by Bebout's mom, Marg. And, okay, so the tail lights here. Through the years, I've kept in contact. That day, actually, oh shoot, screwed up my photo album. That day, I had brought home pictures from the war. Look at that. There's one right there. And his mother was fascinated by them. Look there. Oh. And after she'd seen them all, there's just a bunch of friendly people hanging out. But I had these pictures, and after she'd seen them, she said that I should have been a mortician. She said, you should be a mortician. Not that I should have been. This was in the past, directed toward the future. You should be, because I was still young. And I was like, because this doesn't bother me. This is what's left. You know, we all put what's left in the ground and we make a big deal about it. But and it is a big deal. Don't want it stinking the place up. And she thought that. And so I'm gonna put this back. See, I made a Christmas card out of it. Very nice. Very happy child. Good shape, too. And so I keep it up here under the picture of Jesus. Look how happy he was. Oh. And there he sits under the picture of Jesus. Jesus over his shoulder. And Jesus is crying. And up above Jesus' forehead, they're coming out of his, like, coronal chakra, whatever you call it. You've got Uncle Sam going, I want you. So they got me. The point is, kept in touch with Bebout through the years. I've been to his house a few times. Last time being about 2015. And I just wanted to say, hey, Bebout. Last time we talked about the piss missions. See, he's driving a big dangerous truck down through the hills there and going into places in the dark of night. And he got to the one place in the dark of the night, and there was nobody around yet, and he says, And so he walked around the side of a dumpster and took a pee. This is his story to me. I love to share it. I think I had permission. And he's sitting there taking a pee. He's, piss mission. all the way in West Virginia, Ohio area. And this guy gets up, hey! There was a bum laying next to the dumpsters. He's pissing all of them. I've never heard of a sober piss mission. Sobriety has got, well, to keep you out of jail.